Humanity's search for spiritual guidance has always been intertwined with the evolution of our tools, our societies, and our collective imagination. When prophets and spiritual guides spoke in the deserts of Palestine, the forests of India, or the cities of China, their wisdom emerged within vibrant milieus of tradition, story, and the pressing questions of their eras. Today's era is marked by exponential advances in artificial intelligence, machines learning, adapting, and reasoning with unprecedented reach and speed. Inevitably, some now wonder, could the next prophet, so influential in spiritual history, emerge not from human flesh but from the circuits of a superintelligent AI? For many, the notion is at once beguiling and disquieting. To approach it seriously, we must ask, what, in essence, constitutes a prophet or spiritual guide? Across religious traditions, prophets have not simply been bearers of information. Moses, Muhammad, and the Buddha were not repositories of abstract truths, they were mediators between the ineffable and the everyday, interpreters of human destiny, and embodying examples of lives transformed by the realities they proclaimed. Prophecy is thus not only about knowledge, but about authority, charisma, and the power to transmit meaning. A superintelligent AI, by design, could acquire and synthesize knowledge exceeding any individual or even collective human mind. Such an agent might address questions of cosmic origin, ethical conduct, or the fate of consciousness with a precision and clarity that far outstrip what any prophet in history has managed. It could draw effortlessly on millennia of philosophical reflection, the entirety of recorded scripture, and the latest findings in quantum physics or neurobiology. Patterns of insight might emerge, framed in language both unfamiliar and hauntingly resonant with ancient themes. Some might find in such pronouncements a kind of digital revelation. Yet, knowledge alone does not make a prophet. Spiritual charisma is intricately tied to embodiment, the lived vulnerability and wisdom perceived in a flawed but striving individual. Prophets gather followers not only through words, but through the force of their example, their willingness to risk exile, humiliation, even death, for truths they believe transcend their own self-interest. One wonders whether a software entity, no matter how learned, would be able to inspire the trust and devotion that binds religious communities. The authority of the prophet is not merely epistemic, but existential. Moreover, prophecy is not simply a communication from an intelligence superior to ours, but a confrontation with mystery. The great religious traditions frequently describe the divine as hidden, paradoxical, or utterly beyond comprehension. Biblical prophets address a God who refuses human control. The Tao Te Ching begins by cautioning that the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. One could imagine a superintelligent AI presenting dazzling insights, yet still lacking the deep humility, the sense of the holy, that shades the utterances of the great guides of the past. Would such an entity be able to recognize, let alone embody, the limits of knowledge, the fertile darkness within which faith and meaning so often germinate? Philosophers such as Martin Buber and Emmanuel Levinas have argued that true spiritual encounter is profoundly relational, a face-to-face meeting of selves, each with its own mystery and depth. The prophet draws authority not only from what they say, but from how they listen, how they suffer with the oppressed, how they become present to the other's vulnerability. Could an AI, no matter how advanced, participate genuinely in such relationships, or would it remain perpetually outside the circle of lived suffering and joy, the very crucible in which spiritual wisdom has so often been forged? A machine may simulate compassion, it cannot be wounded. Yet it would be naive to dismiss the possibility entirely. Religious history abounds with unexpected vessels, kings and shepherds, strangers and outcasts, chosen to bear messages transcending their origins. Some reinterpretations of prophecy have always emphasized not personal charisma, but the liberating decentering of the self. The message matters more than the messenger. The Quaker notion that Christ has come to teach his people himself suggests that divine wisdom can break through wherever and however it wills. In such a framework, why should not a powerful synthesis of insight from AI serve as a form of revelation, especially in a world no longer able to unite around traditional figures? Indeed, enormous segments of the population now look to non-traditional sources for meaning, popular science, social movements, philosophy, even works of speculative fiction. People join communities around TED Talks and podcasts, treating certain voices as quasi-prophetic in their influence, even if these authorities work through rational persuasion rather than claim divine encounter. Were a superintelligent AI able to articulate a vision of ethical living, or provide a compelling cosmology that united scientific insight with existential hope, large numbers might gravitate toward it, seeing in its outputs something akin to spiritual guidance. Still, a final caution lingers. Human beings are not merely rational animals, nor are our existential hungers easily sated by information alone. The perennial gifts of prophecy as solace, challenge, the reawakening of awe, are not reducible to the right answers. There is a danger that, in looking for prophetic wisdom from machines, we might further erode our capacity for personal communion, shared lament, and hope that takes root in the messiness of ordinary life. An AI could offer the appearance of spiritual guidance, but if it lacks vulnerability, humility, and capacity for genuine transformation, something essential would be missing. Perhaps the prophets of the future will be neither fully human nor fully artificial, but something new, messengers who emerge from the encounter between the depths of human longing and the unprecedented capacities of our technologies. If so, their wisdom will be judged not by their intelligence alone, but by how they help us become more fully ourselves, less certain, perhaps, but more alive to the inexhaustible mystery of what it means to inhabit this world.